It's the Friday Night Frenzy on News 18. Sports from where you live.
Welcome back, and I am so happy you stuck around after that second half because we have our second half of the highlight portion of our show. We have several great games up next on our lineup, and I can't wait for you to check out all the action from week 8 of the high school football season. So why don't you say we cut the chit chat and get into the action now, shall we? We're going to start this round of highlights off with an undefeated team. West Lafayette traveled quite a ways up north to take on Twin Lakes, and as you can tell from the huddle, the Red Devils are ready to go. Westside making quick work here of the Indian defense with this beauty of a pass to Liam Burton, who fights his way for a touchdown. Red Devils getting on the board early. But this team is just getting started because shortly after, Dawson Martin makes a clean sweep past the defense to get in for another Westside score. But QB Max Mullis wants some of this action too. After not finding anyone downfield to throw, he says, "Yeah, I'll just take this one myself." Mullis really showing he's a dual threat quarterback no team should take lightly, and after some lovely blocks from teammates, he gets into the end zone with little to no trouble. Just like that, West Lafayette remains dominating teams and easily takes this game. Final score, Westside wins 51-6. And electric matchups were happening all across our viewing area. And I mean all across the area, because we here at Sports 18, we're covering a ton of ground tonight. Sports 18's Maddie Daddario, or as I like to call her, our road warrior, joins us now with a look at how her games went. Maddie, feel free to take it away.
Yeah, well, a few weeks ago, I was talking about that first ball football order. That did not last very long.
On the other, well, let's see here, and it kind of looks like they will. Central defense came in with some heat at the end of this next one as Cade Nelson sends the ball out wide to Gotzel, who definitely picks up a few more yards on this play than the last one. Eventually, Oracles found themselves within 1 yard of the end zone as Nelson pitches this one to Walker Jones, and Delphi puts up their first 6 of the game. We'll end this phenomenal play here, and you guys should know by now, Maddie does love a good old kickoff return action as Joshua Hartley snags the ball and books it. I mean, look at that footwork he's got going on. Every time you think he's going to get tackled, he just fakes him out, taking it to the house. Delphi wins 48-12. Now let's see how the undefeated Carroll Cougars fared against Clinton Prairie. Now when Maddie got there at half, Carroll was up 28-6. Carroll D starts the second half strong. Prairie almost fumbles a snap, and the Cougs capitalize on the mistake, taking him down with no yards gained. But Clinton Prairie's defense wanted a piece of that action too, and Carroll, Luke Tanner looking for an open pass, but isn't quick enough, and Prairie secures a 4th down sack. And then the Cougar defense stole the show. Prairie trying to pick up some yards, but gets tripped up by Cougar D. Ball goes flying, and the Cougars jump on the ball for a fumble recovery. And we'll end this one once again, courtesy of the Cougar defense. Prairie on their own 1 yard line. The snap is fumbled, and somewhere at the bottom of that pile is a blue jersey who not only recovered the ball for Carroll, but recovered it in the end zone for another Cougar touchdown. Carroll stays undefeated, taking down Clinton Prairie 42-6. Maddie, thank you so much for going to those games. We're having some technical difficulties tonight, so that's why I had to read that. Now, you thought Logansport was far. We here at Sports 18 traveled all the way to Pioneer to see how they did against Culver. Starting off, it seems they would not do too well as Culver gets in the red zone early on and is able to draw first blood. Later on, Culver on the attack again in their own territory, but that wouldn't stay there for long because this Cavalier would get him out of trouble and waltz into the end zone untouched. But Pioneer won't go down tonight without a fight, and Rylan Tolosa would help get his team on the board with this 35-yard rushing touchdown. And right after this, the Panthers would get a 2-point conversion. But those would be the only points on the board for Pioneer tonight, and Culver would run away with this one. Final score, Culver wins 28-8. And just like that, Week 8 of the Friday Night Frenzy high school football highlights have come to a close. But we aren't quite done yet with our show. After all, we have to talk about the upcoming matchup of Purdue versus Maryland and take a peek at which local high school soccer teams will be battling it out for the championship tomorrow in sectionals. So stick around, that's next.